Yo, what is going on, boys? Welcome to the podcast. It's Money Monday. I got my guy Danny right here who's killing it in the online coaching space. Now, Danny, for those of you guys for the people that don't know you, give them a backstory, like where'd you start, etc.
Yeah. So I started off as skinny high school kid. My friends would pick on me. My own friend group would pick on me all the time, and I hated it. I hated my situation. So I started going to the gym to self-improve. At the time as well, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. It kind of just came to me when I was 16 years old. So I started selling sneakers because I had a light bulb moment. I was like, I love sneakers. I can make money, so let me do it. And then I got introduced to transactions, customers, refunds, profit, etc. And it kind of just started off there. And then it fell off. I kept working at Starbucks. Mm-hmm. But I always hated it, and throughout the entire time, I was just going to the gym. But I tried so many other different online business models. I tried drop shipping, I tried day trading, wholesaling real estate. I've tried just a bunch of things. I was even on that meme coin thing at some point. Yeah. It was terrible. I lost so much money, but I think it was all worth it because, you learn as you go. I believe the best way to learn is through experience. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, throughout the entire time, like I said, I was going to the gym, and I had another light bulb moment, but I feel like this time it was bigger. I saw people like you, other influencers making money with coaching, and I'm like, wait, I can sell my results as well. Mm-hmm. Started in late March this year. Now we're almost at 10K this month.
Bro,
changed my life.
That's dope, bro. I think the number one thing that justifies that coaching is the top industry is because no matter what you do, whether it's reselling, day trading, drop shipping, there's coaches in the industry. You know what I mean? Even if somebody's a day trader that makes millions a month, they have some type of info or coaching product. So I started in the same boat, bro. I used to resell shoes. I was the same exact thing, bro. I was I wanted nice shoes, but I didn't want to buy them because then I'd run out of money, but I wanted to justify buying them by making money off of it. Yeah. So I know if I got $200, I want these Jordans, but I don't want to buy the shoes and be dead broke. So my mentality was I'd buy used shoes. I'd wear them for a little bit, and then I'd sell them after that. But yeah, bro, I guess you learn a lot about business through that, bro. I learned that some people you can't trust, right? I'm 16 years old selling sneakers, bro. I'd have drug dealers pulling up to my house to sell me Gucci belts, designer items, have dudes pull up in track hawks that looked at the time, trustable dudes. And, bro, I ended up getting scammed for my entire life savings. Somebody sold me 3 pairs of just fake sneakers. And I was an all-in business type of guy to where I spent the last fucking band I had on all those shoes. Mm-hmm. And then I looked them up and I looked up the Jordan logo and shit, and then it was off. And I was like, fuck, bro. But I always had a good heart where I didn't want to snake the next man. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck it, they're fake. I bought them for $200. I'm going to resell them as fakes for $80 to $100. I got all of those gone. I counted my losses, bro, and I just kept reinvesting. But I tried drop shipping as well. And it's just with shoes, bro, it's $20 margins. Exactly. You can't buy shit with drop shipping. I was trying to sell low ticket items like dog water bottles, etc. And I guess the point of what I'm saying is no matter what business you do, the margins have to be hefty. Mm-hmm. It's with coaching and info, the margins are 100%. That's why I love it so much. So I was either going to do coaching, I was going to build a designer brand, or whatever it had to be. It had to be just room, So what kept you going after failing all the different business models, bro?
What kept me going is just the end goal, right? Retiring my parents because, I was never really poor. I was broke though. I've hit zero a bunch of times, but I've always wanted to give back to my parents for all that they've done for me my entire life. My mom has always made sacrifices to give me everything that I needed and wanted at the same time. So I'm just super grateful, and I just wanted to always give back. And at the same time, I knew I had no choice. I still have no choice. I've had arguments with them. I was like, Mom, I'm sorry I'm not going to college, but I promise you I'm going to make it work out one way or another. She was doubting me at the time a little bit, my dad as well, because they seen I was doing drop shipping. It wasn't working out. They seen I was losing money. I was in between jobs, Starbucks. I had a few restaurant jobs, and they kept having that convo with me, when is it time? When are you going to actually do something? And it would stress me out, but at the same time, I was like, I could either listen to them and then just go down the same rabbit hole as everyone else, or I can keep going, never give up, and eventually I know that I will as long as I keep giving myself feedback. So once I like get in that moment where I see I either have this option, you know, be like everyone else average, and then or just keep going because it could work out eventually, I'm like, I 100% would rather keep trying.
100%, because it's like you have to weigh out the risk to the reward. Like,
Exactly.
successful people weren't willing to accept the risk of being average, right? Like, my biggest fear was staying average, working a 9 to 5 the rest of my life and just being cooked. Like, the coworkers I had at work, they were like 50 years old and they're like, I've been here for 40 years. I was like, I don't want to end up like that. So me knowing that, like, I never grew up poor either, right? I was middle class, but I put my back against the wall and made it seem like I got no other choice. I'm like, I know if I take this route, I'm going to off myself, so I have to fucking climb. And I think the beauty of entrepreneurship is that everybody starts with the ignorance debt, is what Alex Hormozy calls that. And you go through, you fail different businesses, etc. But there's an end goal. There's light at the end of the tunnel where you actually wake up and make more money than you can spend. And it's like, yo, what the fuck do I do? We just went on a big ass yacht. You know what I mean? I've already been on jets. Should I get another jet? Like, should I fucking, I'm in a penthouse. Should I get a bigger one? Like, it's like I bought 8 cars. What the fuck else do I do? But I feel like that's the beauty of the game. And success is like GTA, bro. It's kind of like you play GTA. It's super fun because it's challenging. And then you unlock an unlimited money glitch. And that's fun for a lot of the time, but then it gets boring because you have access to absolutely everything. Success is the same way, bro, where it's like, those struggles, the ups and downs, you figuring it out, you growing is actually the most fun part, because once you unlock the unlimited money glitch, what do? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing that you really want. I guess it's growth itself. But yeah, I mean, on top of that, bro, it's funny because we both did reselling, day trading, dropship. Like, we both did the exact same shit, bro. So do you think that, did you ever see a reel of me talking about that and relate to it, or?
Yeah. I've seen you make the reel as well, and I'm like, damn, we kind of have the same story. So now I see my potential. I'm like, if you can make this farther, I can make it even farther. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But yeah, you know, I've tried all those things, and I did realize at some point what you were saying about even all these people, these big influencers that do these things like drop shipping, trading, they all have info. They don't even promote what they do. They just promote the results, and they promote, let me teach you, right? So it's like you said one time, the whole game is coaching. Like, everyone does coaching.
Bro, it's funny as shit. I got a really funny story, bro, and fucking no hate to this dude at all.
Yeah.
When I started doing day trading, right, it was like a MLM type of thing at the time, and I was like, fuck it, let me learn day trading, right? I paid this guy $100 for an hour, and he was teaching me markets and charts and etc. I think it was very valuable information at the time, right? I was learning. This was my first time investing in self-development. And bro, I kid you not, like a week later, I see the dude in person. Like, we're at Panera Bread or some shit. I'm like, yo, my mind was like, yo, big dog, what's up? But he kind of like looked at me and he like fucking went to his car. I was like, wait, why do you do that? Bro, I realized he had a Uber Eats bag, bro. He was doing Uber Eats at that time. And I was fuck, bro. I was like, he's over here telling me he's making thousands of dollars. You know, I paid him $100 and then it was like, it was downhill, bro. But that's not to dog him. Like, but I never had a negative taste on self-development after that, right? Yeah. I wasn't like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm done. I was just like, okay, let me find people that actually have the results I want. Like, you have to do your background check. You have to do your research. It's kind of like you shouldn't take fitness advice from a fat dude. You know what I mean? The same way with financial, with somebody successful. But isn't that a funny ass story though?
Yeah,
it didn't click till later, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a similar experience, but the thing is, right, so I invested one time about $3K into a drop shipping mentorship, and it was terrible. I mean, the dude had a cool lifestyle, right? Like, you know, they always show off the lifestyle. But, you know, I went in there, I made the investment. It's just like outdated info that I could find on YouTube. Like, everything that he was teaching, I already knew. And I'm like, what's changed? You know what I'm saying? So he would only meet with us like twice a month. And I was super, super down. I'm like, damn, dude, like, does this mean like this is all a scam? Like, are all online businesses like this? I had a moment where I was like, I don't know what to do. I was scared, honestly. But even though I was scared, I'm like, back to what I was saying earlier, it's either this or that. It's either I give up, I just be average, you know, listen to what my parents told me and just get a regular job just like everyone else and prove all the haters right, or I can find something else or just keep trying, eventually make it out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So people would probably see that. I think that's where most people would give up. You know, if they invested a bunch of money into something and then it's just like not working out, it's like what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna play it safe. You know, keep working. You know, I feel safer here. There's no risk involved. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather take the risk. Like I've been down there's been so many times where, like I said, my bank has hit zero. Like I've thought about not giving up, but like I've just been stressed out. Like I'm in my room, like what am I gonna do? No matter what, it's like I knew I had no choice, so I have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? It's either you give up or you die trying, and I'd rather die trying any day.
Yeah. So the thing is now, bro, you're making nearly $10,000 a month. Like, what do you feel like the difference is between you investing $3K into a drop shipping course, you not seeing results? Like, what do you think is different about our community?
Oh, so definitely, I really appreciate like how involved you are. Like that was the number one thing I noticed. It was game changing. You know, you have the weekly calls with us. You always answer quickly in the chat. Like I appreciated that, and just the information was super valuable. I mean, we learned high ticket sales, you know, how to post on social media. All of that stuff was super helpful because I was never the person to post personally on social media. Like I've tried doing those, like, what's that thing called, clipping? I've done that on TikTok before, and I was okay at it, but I've never posted my own face. So it was very new to me. So that was super helpful. And you know, I went all in because, you know, I go to the gym. I've been going for 3 years now. So I was like, this is definitely a good opportunity. I seen your results. I seen the other guys killing it in the community. So I was just like, I'm gonna go all in. I spent the last money I had literally. So it was like another like risk. I'm like, well, this is my last, I think it was $1,000 at the time. Let's just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome, bro. Yeah. And like, explain this, because some people, I mean, even I didn't think it was real, right? I remember my first high ticket sale. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Somebody should pay me $1K. Like, how'd you feel when you got your first client after failing multiple businesses, losing everything? Like, how'd you feel when you saw that like Stripe statement?
Bro, it was life changing. You know, I stayed calm on the call. You know, I didn't really want to show emotion. Once we hung up the call, I'm just like, damn, like all that, like you said, all those times where I was super stressed out in my room, you know, trying to set up ad creatives and all this other stuff, just losing thousands of dollars, and to make $1,000 in like 30, 40 minutes, you know, just because I learned how to speak properly and post on social media and show my results. Like, dude, it was life changing, honestly.
Bro, the fun thing too, it never fucking ends. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
it never ends. And like you get doubts too. Like I remember my first high ticket close, you get the doubts instantly. Like, what if this was luck? What if it was a one-time rodeo? But what I noticed is the first close is always the hardest. The first time you do something, it proves that you can do it. And then after that, it's pretty easy. It's kind of like, I always give the analogy of trying to dunk a basketball. It's like if you're rim grazing, you're like, fuck. Yeah. But then once you dunk it, it's like you start dunking it effortlessly after. I don't know what mentally changes, but it's just like, you know, you can do it, you know? So it's just, I guess it's a belief aspect. But what's your goal now, bro? What's the number one goal?
Well, my goal now is obviously I still have that main goal of, you know, retiring my parents, retiring my girl. You know, I want her to be set as well. I want to be a big inspiration to my brother. He's only 17 years old, so I want him to see what's possible as well. But yeah, those are like main goals. And then, you know, just milestones. Like I said, move to Miami eventually, just do as much networking as possible. And then all the material stuff can come after, but I really want to do the actual deep stuff as like before I do any of that.
Mm-hmm. You know, the funniest thing though, this is a differing perspective, but funniest thing is when I had the ability to retire my mom, I didn't. I went and I bought a fucking Lambo. It's going to sound stupid as hell. But I knew if I retired my mom then, I hadn't built a big enough name to where I was making some money online. But I'm like, I need to pop my nuts and be that guy. Boom, buy a Lambo, $250,000. I swear to God, my sales skyrocketed. Because you can have money in a bank account. Nobody cares. Exactly. They're just like, oh, well, it's fake, and he's just saying that, et cetera. Yeah. Boom, you pop out, you buy a supercar, though. Now all the attention is on me, and attention is a currency. And people started going, oh, this dude's the real deal. Yeah. He must know something if he bought that Lambo cash. And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, and now I call my mom sometimes. My mom's like, hey, Vincent, how's your business doing? I'm like, yeah, 70,000 a day, 30,000 yesterday, 40-something thousand the day before, whatever the day before was. But like I knew in that time I had to build my personal brand. That was the most important thing that was going to retire my family. It's like I think the best piece of advice for everybody watching this is you have to get known. You know what I mean? It's like once you get known as a man, especially for being motivational, maybe having some type of transformation, getting known for the right reasons, bro, you can get paid infinitely. You know what I mean? Like there's billions and billions of people. If you have a blueprint and a testimony, all you have to do is package it the correct way, sell it, get client wins, the community grows, and it's just exponential. That's why I love business. I mean, even at this point, more than the gym, because the gym, you even reach a peak, right? It's like you have newbie gains and then you remain fairly the same. Bro, I've seen with like coaching and business in general, there's zero ceiling. I mean, there's guys in the info space that are doing 600 million a year. There's Grant Cardones and all those guys. Like, bro, I'm coming for that level, you know. And I know it may sound corny now, but I'm coming for that level. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, even like for the whole confidence thing, like I feel like confidence comes in levels. Like, for the example, the gym, like you start going in a month, you start seeing the little veins pop out and stuff, and it's just like, oh, I can do better. The same thing for this. You know, I got my first sale. I'm like, I can do more, right? And that's when I started going up. So my first month, like, you know, I made one sale. I think I did another one about 2 weeks after. And I'm like, okay, let me raise my price. You know what I'm saying? I just did it right away because I'm like, I believe I'm worth more. What I'm giving away is super valuable. So let me up the price, closed again. And I'm like, all right, I'm taking off. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the same thing for anything. You know, you just have to start. A lot of people focus on like, how do I do it? You know, where do I start? Like, it's just too complicated, but you just have to do it. You know what I mean? You don't learn how to walk by like watching a video. You learn how to walk by falling, by trying. You know, you crawl a little bit. You know, when you're a baby, you fall many times, but then you learn how to walk. So I believe, like I said, experience is the best teacher. So that's how it was for me. Like when I first started doing the coaching thing, I didn't even know if I could do it. I didn't know if my physique was good enough because I thought like, oh, maybe you have to be like bodybuilder level. And I'm just like, nah, you don't have to be. You just need to have a solid routine. And I had people already asking me like, yo, Danny, what's your routine? Like, what do you eat? What's your diet plan? So I'm like, wait, those are leads. You know, I didn't even realize at the time. I think I told you, I was like, yeah, I have people asking me. You're like, bro, those are leads you can close for a ticket. And I'm like, oh shit, you're right. You know what I mean? So I saw the opportunity. I'm just like, nah, let me do it. And, you know, at first I was struggling a bit, but within 2 weeks, I got my first sale. So I just had to try. I just had to take the shot. I wasn't even ready. You know what I mean? Because my plan was at the beginning of this year, I was like, all right, I'm going to get as jacked as possible. I'm going to start taking more protein, more creatine, you know, just get jacked so I can start coaching. And like throughout that process, I remember you reached out to me. You're like, yo, your transformation is fire. And I'm like, oh shit, like I appreciate it. Like you really think I could, you asked me, like, are you ready to start your coaching business, whatever? And I was like, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're saying it's fire, and then that's when I told you, like, I already had people asking me about routines, and you're saying, bro, those are leads. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it. Why am I still waiting? You know what I mean? So I went all in. And like I said, learn through experience,
Bro, it's so funny because we have similar stories, bro. Like, I found online coaching on accident, too, and went through all the exact same things, bro. I didn't think that was an area you could even make money. Like, you just hear the things online, like drop shipping, day trading, et cetera. I was like, let me try those. Bro, I was day trading, and around that time, my mom made me stay at my brother's house, so I was hitting the gym in the meantime. And I remember, like, people were just asking me constantly as I posted more and more fitness content, like, what's your routine? What do you eat? Just questions around the gym. And I was kind of, like, brushing them off. I'd give them free game. I'd give them all the sauce. And I still wanted to figure out this day trading thing. And I fucking blew my account, bro. I blew the last like 1,200 I had in there. I remember like setting the trades and I was up 600. Bro, I didn't want to put stop losses. The next morning my shit was red and just fired. And I was like, God damn.
Same exact thing happened to me.
Yeah, bro.
I put in money. I was up like 800, 900 bucks. I got greedy. I was like, I'm going to let this thing grow. I went to sleep. Bro, I woke up poor. Like, I woke up, it was all gone. Bro, that was during the meme coin thing, though. It was, like, such a big thing at the time. It was, like, during the holiday season. And I was just like, whatever, let me just try it. Didn't work out at all.
Bro, but it's moments like those, it's like crises that actually create opportunity. So I knew I was like, fuck, bro, all my money's gone. Me and my brother were like, how the fuck are we going to eat, bro? We were splitting Jack in the Box in the apartment, bro. Yeah. And then I just took the questions I had and I saw fitness influencers online selling like little PDFs. I was like, fuck it. I was like, I literally have a text still saved and it's like workout routine, meal plan, supplements, $20. I didn't know DM setting. I didn't know fucking closing. I was like, bro, it's $20. Bro, and then somebody was like, send link. What's your Cash App? I was like, what the fuck? Yo, I sent them the Cash App. It was like, cha-ching. I was like, what the hell? I was like, yo, Cam. I was like, yo, we can eat, bro. Yeah. He was like, yo, big dog. Like, and then I built a website after doing that for a little bit, a GoDaddy website. Boom, I slapped it up for like $30 a month. Yeah. And bro, people were buying on automation. I still have the screenshots, and it was just, I guess, the obsession of just dialing in the systems on how we can make more and more and more that led to what's pretty much about to be 8 figures a year, bro. It's absolutely nuts, bro. Yeah, it's dope, awesome, bro. But yeah, it's crazy shit, bro. What would you say to the guy that's like watching this? I don't know. He's thinking about online coaching. He has doubts. He doesn't think he's big enough. Like, what would you say to the past to you, bro?
Yeah, 100%. I was just going to say something like that. You know, a lot of people, they might have doubts or they think it's a scam because, you know, they see all these gurus, they rent Lambos and then they make an ad with it. And then like they said, you see him in person with the Uber Eats bag, but if like when you see things like this, like me and Vince or just the other guys in the community, just take the opportunity. What do you have to lose? You know, if people say like it's a risk, but if you're not living the life you want, what do you have to lose? Like what risk is involved? That was my mentality as well. I'm like, I mean, I'm already not where I want to be. So what do I have to lose? You get what I'm saying? So if you already have people asking you, you know, what's your routine, or even if you just feel confident in the gym, just go for it. Like I said, I made my first sale within 2 weeks. Right when I joined the community, I studied right away. I watched like every single video I had to. I asked so many questions. I set up my systems. Like I'm like speed. Tate talks about this a lot. He says #1 rule in business is speed. Be as fast as possible. You know, talk to people as fast as you can. Get everything set up as fast as you can. You know, just when you do things quickly and efficiently, it kind of works better. But obviously without, you know, ruining the quality of what you're doing. So, you know, I believe if you really want it, like, just go for it. You know what I mean? You learn as you go.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the highest players in entrepreneurship, bro, even Elon Musk has made public statements of like, if this rocket launch fails, which is like the third one that fails, I'm going broke. He's like, I'm going all into this rocket launch, and it's for the status of it. It's like, if you see the world's most successful people going all in, it's just, that might tell you something too. I've always been all in. I mean, right now we're doing a software. Right now I'm building like a luxury bag brand. I'm going to say this on this podcast. What's the date?
21st.
It's July 21st. So wouldn't it be funny if I'm saying right now I'm going to drop a designer bag brand? Wouldn't it be funny if I just dropped a designer bag, made $500,000 to $1 million in one drop? Does that qualify me to not just be the info guy? Can people say, oh, he's a Corsa? I'm just doing it as a challenge, bro. I was speaking to my homie Abdul. He's made $400 million in e-commerce. He's like, Vince, bro, you have a brand. He's like, you're doing info, but like, look at what I'm doing here. He's like, boom, set this up. I have my guy James helping me out. That's Rick Ross's clothing dude. Word. And we're just gonna send it, bro. You know what I mean? And
that's the thing too. Like when you learn sales, when you learn how to sell, you can pivot that towards anything. You know what I mean? So when I got the information on how to sell, you know, how to handle objections, how to, you know, transfer that belief, I'm like, bro, I can turn around tomorrow and be a car sales guy.
Exactly.
At the same time, like, let's say like all the money I've made up until now, somebody could strip it all off of me. I'll get it back tomorrow because you can't take my skill away. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's super valuable. You know, when you have things like, you know, if you hit the lottery and you lose it all, you lost it all. You're not getting it back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People are scratching tickets for years and years and years, and it's just for luck. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that consistently pays you, or it's not something that you have within you that you can kind of like water that seed again. You know what I'm saying? So I believe once you learn how to actually sell, I mean, you could never go broke. Because even if something's not working out, if you can't sell fitness programs, then you can sell cars or you can sell something else. As long as you have that sales skill, I mean, how can you be broke? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the #1 thing, bro. There's actually a TV show, and I used to watch this like I was like 16 years old in my mom's room. And I watched this TV show where they took billionaires and they put them in the middle of some random city with $100. And a lot of these guys within 90 days built $1 million businesses. Yeah. They took billionaires, right? A lot of people think, oh, that guy just got lucky or he was in the right place at the right time. No, making money is a skill set. Yeah. So when I saw these guys like get left in some shop, the first thing they did was get a job, because you can't be in the flipping game of I have $100, let me try to make it 1,000. No, they got a job first. And then these guys like found opportunities in the marketplace. Like they'd help somebody with marketing. One guy built a restaurant. You know, some people were more brick and mortar, some people were marketing, but whatever they did had to do with what they were currently doing with their $1 billion business. And I just thought it was fascinating. Yeah.
Shark Tank?
No, it wasn't Shark Tank, bro. It was something like Grant Cardone was on it. Another guy who was a billionaire was on it. Okay. And, bro, that just made me realize, like, I'm spending all my money on me, bro. Because like you said, too, it's like, if you get a big lump of change and, I don't know, you start buying bullshit and you don't spend it on yourself, your skill set, et cetera, it's like, yeah, it is gone. That's why you see a lot of sports players that end up dead broke after their season's over. You see rappers that have a come up and fall off. Yeah, exactly. Like with business and with info especially, it's like, bro, I could blow $100,000 on a vacation because I know the skill of making money. Like I know the core foundation of system, structure, delivery. And it's like, you can never go broke again.
Exactly. And I was going to say as well, too, you know, for people, it's like you said before, it's harder to get in shape than it is to actually make money. So it's like if you are already in shape, if you have a six-pack, if you have puffed out chest, nice arms, like if you have a good body, why wouldn't you monetize that? It's just like, would you really rather work at Papa John's or Starbucks, whatever it is? Oh, yeah, but I'm passionate about it. Well, clearly you're more passionate about the gym because you have abs, you have a nice body, so why aren't you monetizing that? You know what I'm saying? So
100%, bro. If I had to restart, I'd get a sales job, bro. If I had to restart, you give me $100, I'm getting a sales job. I'm not working to earn, I'm working to learn. Like I'd get that job, car sale, bro. I'd literally do car sales. Yeah. Preferably a luxury car dealership, anywhere with higher margins. It's Bernard Arnault that says it. Luxury goods is the only area it's possible to make luxury margins. So I'd work that damn job for a few months. I'd get in the gym on the side. And both of those things go hand in hand. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you showing up regardless of how you feel to get results. Like I'd align both of those things. And then when it was time, like during that time, I'd build my personal brand around sales or maybe a little bit of fitness and gym. I'd document the journey. And bro, I guarantee you within 6 months, if you took away my physique, my name, if you took away everything from me, within 6 months, I'd be back making $50,000 a month.
100%.
You know, $100,000 a month.
That's why also as well, you know, after Starbucks, I was like, okay, I'm not where I want to be, but let me try to get in that field. So I got a job at a nice restaurant, and I know it's not sales, but it kind of is because the more you sell, the more you'll earn in tips. So I'm like, okay, let me look at what's more expensive on the menu. So every time somebody's like, oh, it's our first time here, I'm like, awesome. You know, because now I'm going to tell you we have the best filet. We have this is the best cocktail. We had Japanese whiskeys, and some of them were like $30 an ounce. So if they got a 2 ounce, they're drinking a $70 shot of whiskey. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, yeah, this is better. This is better. And it kind of taught me how to sell, because then people on the next table are like, oh, what are they eating? And then I sell them as well. You know what I mean? So it kind of just introduced me into that, and it got me into like, you know, kind of like convincing people, not convincing, but just showing them like, oh, this is what's good, this is what's better, this is not good. You kind of point them to the better thing. So I feel like that also helped me as well get good at, you know, learning how to sell, learning how to communicate with people as well.
Yeah, but that right there, what you just explained is like intelligence. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't even think like that. A lot of people mindlessly work and don't even think. Yeah. Like you were working but thinking and analyzing, like, how can I make the best out of my situation? But it's just like there's really a lot of people that just work, go home, eat food, work, go home, eat food. And those people are beneficial to society. Don't get it fucked up. Those people are super important because they build the world. But there's some people like us that just have brains, bro, and like think and are like, what, why does this go here? Why is this that? It's like, I always say the only real measure of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life with your given circumstances. You know, no matter where you put us, we'd always be thinking about how can we optimize this and make this better. And I think it's like success is literally such a fucking skyrocket of a thing, bro. It's like, bro, I just keep seeing the numbers go up and up and up, bro. We've done fucking over 500,000 consistently, bro. Yeah. For the last like 4 or 5 months, bro. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's funny because at every level you get doubts, though. Yeah. Sometimes like I'll default back to like Vince 3 years ago and I'll be like, whoa, you know, what if I don't make money? But I'll be like, wait, that's impossible because I did $250,000 last week, $250,000 the week before. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll still get doubts though. Like It's not that winners don't have doubts and fears. It's that winners have gotten stronger and built the mental muscle to focus back on optimism and positivity. You know, it's like every time I do get something that says, oh, I was lucky, this, what if this falls off, what if that? Like my brain is so quick to just, nope, it's solid. Here's logical evidence that it is going to work out, et cetera. And every winner has that, bro. Every single winner has that. But yeah, I'd say it's really the reason I touch on mindset so much. A lot of people don't understand that is that mindset's everything, bro.
Exactly.
I could give everybody the exact same blueprint. Some people self-sabotage. Nothing's going to work unless you work as a person.
Exactly.
And you have to have a strong and fearless mentality. You have to get shit done. You have to think and just constantly improve. And that's how you get better, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's even some people that are just so arrogant. Like you can give them everything, the entire blueprint, and they'll still find a reason to say that it doesn't work. And it's just like you were saying, like if you're not really applying what you learn, like getting the information is easy, I believe. You know, the information is out there. There's plenty of people that can show you. There's plenty of resources online where you can learn how to do whatever it is you want to do. But it's not going to work on literally until you start. Like you have to put in the effort, like you said, work that mental muscle. And the mindset thing is powerful as well, like how you said, because even at your level where you're making $500,000 a month, you can still get some doubts. But like you said, a winner never, listens to their doubts. They already know that if they stop, everything else stops. You know what I mean? So it's always on you.
Bro, I love the arrogance thing that you said, bro. I had an unhappy customer, right? Bro, we have the lowest dispute rate in the entire industry. I know the payment processing owners, you know what I mean? Ours is like 3-4% out of every 100 people, 3 to 4 are going to be unhappy. And I'm talking to this kid yesterday, bro, and I'm like, dog, what's going on? Why are you leaving hate comments around the community, et cetera? He's like, yeah, your methods are just outdated. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, you're going to sit here and tell me, who's doing over $800,000 a month right now, how my methods are outdated and you haven't made $1 and you haven't asked me a single question. You just went, oh, his methods don't work, it's outdated. I'm like, there's got to be something. This guy has to be on the spectrum. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's something off, bro. I'm like, you need to ask me questions, bro. You need to implement. I'm like, I don't care about the money, bro. I'm like, bro, take your damn money back. But bro, real shit, I'm just like, bro, like I look at his page too and like just hasn't done the self-development, not in the gym at all, like fucking. And I hate to be negative, but I'm just like, bro, please just fucking pay attention. Because I say a lot of things on the call that some people implement and some people don't. He was saying, I'm on the calls, there's no value. I'm like, bro, I look at your posts, you're wearing like fucking hoodies and shit. You're not showing any type of physique. There's no tonality with what you're saying. Like, but yeah, some people just, they don't listen, and I feel like that's the biggest problem. But a lot of people do as well, right? I love my job. I guess I love my job because I like seeing other people's transformations. You know what I mean? It's like I've already transformed. I've already become financially successful. So what makes me happy is literally just seeing other people do it. But they'll say, Vince, well, why do you charge then? Because if they don't pay, they're not going to take it serious.
Exactly.
The reason I charge a high ticket price is because if somebody doesn't pay, if they don't have some type of sacrifice, they're going to take the information and not use it. Now, what's living proof of that? Anybody can get a free workout routine online. Why is 80% of America obese? And I guarantee you there's a statistic, the people that got coaches or trainers or some type of mentor in that area are in better shape. And sometimes it's not just because they have a mentor, because knowledge is everywhere.
Right.
It's because there was no sacrifice. There was no commitment at all, So that's a principle to success too. One thing that helps me justify my own success is knowing that I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on myself and into mentors. Yeah,
that's something I've been talking a lot about recently is, if you never sacrifice anything for what you want ends up becoming a sacrifice. Like if I never invested into the community, I would not be here. I don't even know where I would be. I'd probably still be knocking my head on the wall over drop shipping. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you have to be willing to do it. And it's not even just like with money, at the same time, there's times where you have to tell your friends or tell your girl, like not today. You know what I mean? You have to be able to have that obsession, that focus where it's like, I'm not going to go out this weekend, or I'm not going to go out today. I didn't make enough, or I don't have enough done. So it's just like, if you're not willing to do that as well, I mean, you're not going to get far, because people, like you told me the other day that people think like you can have a balance. Like, yeah, I can, you know, try and get rich, but at the same time, you know, I can party every weekend. And it's just like, it doesn't work that way. Just like the same thing with God, right? There's a verse in the Bible that talks about, you know, if you put the kingdom of God first, everything else follows. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, God is a jealous God. So if you don't put him first, like nothing else is going to come into place. So it's kind of like the same thing for business. If you don't prioritize what you're actually trying to do, if that's second, nothing else is going to align, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're waking up every day early, or at least just putting hours a day into building your business or building your brand, you're going to see results as long as you're doing it consistently over a long period of time.
Yeah, bro. That's the number one thing. I've had clients, right? They'll be struggling. They're like, Vince, my online coaching business isn't picking up. I got one sale, then it stopped. I had one guy, I was like, bro, share your screen real quick. Show me your DMs. Let's find out what you're doing wrong. This dude shares his screen. I see the Clash of Clans app has fucking 10 notifications. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? He's like, bro, sometimes I play Clash of Clans. I'm like, bro, what do you do with your time outside of this? He's like, sometimes I'm laying down with my girl and et cetera. Yeah. So a lot of success isn't even just what you do. It's about what you remove. You know what I mean? I really don't watch TV with my girl. I'm not playing iPhone video games or any type of video games for that matter. And all of my free time is sometimes it's not even action, but it's thinking about what action to take with the time of, I guess you could call it procrastination. Mm-hmm. But if you're filling those spaces with fuckery, bullshit, jacking off, it's like, bro, how do you expect to become successful? Like, a lot of it is theorizing. A lot of it is visualizing. And if you spend those empty gaps just thinking of your next steps. I made a story the other day, and I'm like, since the time I was broke, I'd be up until 4 a.m. planning the next 8 moves. And in that free time, I'm like, which one, where if I do this, this works out. If I do that, I'll consult with ChatGPT. And it's like that free time that creates the success and the result.
Yeah, it's crazy how even at the level you're at, you still have that mentality, because even for me, right, some people can make that first $1,000 sale, like we were saying, and just get comfortable, like, yes, let's go. Like, I'm going to go out to dinner now. I'm going to spend it all, like, just like if somebody won the lottery. But, like, it gets to a point where you have to say, like, it even got to a point for me where when I close the deal, I'm like, okay, next. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because if one little sale like that makes you comfortable, then you're not going to get to the level you want to be. Like, if you want to be making $500,000 like Vince, like, you have to be on that timing, like I can't go out this weekend. I can't be doing anything else except focusing on building my business, because these 2,000, that $2,000 sale, you know what I'm saying? It feels good. Like, it's life-changing, because especially after all the sacrifices of, you know, the mentorships of drop shipping and day trading, all that, etc. Sorry, I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
But I mean, I'll kind of pick it up with what you're saying, bro. It's kind of like, I mean, even now, bro, there's some days I make 100,000 profit in a day, bro.
Yeah.
In a day, and I don't even smile. Like, it's like the money game doesn't even, like, I don't know if it stops satisfying me. Like, I don't know, at 10K a day, I was like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. Yo, 30K a day, I was like, yo, I have a reel up literally from like 2 months, I don't know, 3 months ago or some shit. I'm like, the most I made in a day is 50,000. I was like, yo, now I'll see 100,000 a day, 70,000 a day. And I'm just like, I need to do more. I need more. You know what I mean? Like, there's never an ending point. For the men watching this, if they think there's a period that you made it and it's like, oh, I made it, I can relax and chill, that shit doesn't exist. There's always going to be a constant journey of growth, striving for more improvement. And I feel like that's the real life force of a man. It's getting better, because it's a universal principle, you're growing or dying, right? And I don't want to die. I don't want to backtrack at all. I want to continue to get better, and that's why I fill my time with that. Most people's pleasures are my torture, right? People say, Vince, let's go to the club, let's do this, let's do that. I'm like, fuck that shit, bro. I just want to work. Absolutely. But yeah, we'll wrap it up here. I know we're capped on time, but Danny, where can they follow you, bro?
_ one and only Danny on Instagram, TikTok as well. One and only Danny, no underscore. But yeah.
Let's run it, bro. Let's run it. Then you guys can get me on Instagram, Vincent Fisher _, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Let's run it, bro. Yes, Hell yeah, bro. Let's get it. Yeah.